For most realtors, follow-up is just waiting to be rejected. It's your soul getting crushed every email, text, and call that goes by. But it doesn't have to be that way if you know your stats and you know what you're doing. Let's check it out. What's up guys, Louis Galt, welcome back to the channel. Follow-up is one of these things that people just hate. Everyone just hates doing it. It's like, you know, you put money into ads, you put money into Zillow spend, whatever it is, you get the lead, and if it doesn't like pan out on the first phone call or the first showing, you just kind of let it slide and they just go into your CRM and they live in the dark CRM world forever without ever surfacing ever again. And that's because follow-up's really hard. And the reason it's hard is that no one likes to pick up the phone and get rejected. And this, of course, is completely natural, but in a sales gig, in real estate, it's something you have to do. I bet you a ton of cash that inside of your CRM right now are deals just waiting to happen if you just follow up properly with them. So the average realtor, every time they get a lead, follows up in about 40 minutes after getting it, 40. After getting your lead into your inbox or a text or email or whatever it is, 40 minutes, and they typically only ever follow up twice. Now I have agents that come to me saying, hey, listen, you know, I've tried reaching out to this person and, you know, it's just a dead lead. And then I'm like, well, show me what you did to follow up. It's like, well, I called them and, you know, I left a voicemail and they didn't get back to me. And, you know, then I sent them a text. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you have to be way more diligent than that if you want to continually make your business successful and reoccurring transactions. So get this, on average, you have to follow up with the lead 15 times before they even respond to you. 15 times. So that could be a call, text, email, whatever it is, but that's a lot of times to get one response. And it, you know, it is what it is. If you think about, you know, emails and texts or calls you get from, you know, lenders or trying to take you to lunch or title companies, whatever it is, it's probably that amount of time. And most of the times the response is just like, oh my God, this guy again. Sure, whatever, I'll go to lunch, you know? So it takes like 15 times average to get one response. And then inside of that, the average lead will reject you 5 times before they respond to you. So you're going to get rejected, and that's not like a voicemail, that's like a, hey, listen, I'm not interested, you know, hey, no, not now, you know, no, I'm working with someone else, or whatever that may look like. 5 times rejected before you can actually get through them. And a lot of this is just because of the society we live in these days. You know, the average consumer is sold to about 2,000 times a day, if not more, which is crazy if you think about it. You're like, how is that even possible? But think about it. Think about what you look at every day with your eyes and listen to with your ears. You see it on billboards, you see it on social media, on TV, on your phone, on apps, like everything, listening to podcasts, with advertisements, you know, whatever it is, you're getting sold to all the time. Walking in the grocery store just to get like, you know, bread. You'll see like 2 for 1 over here, blah, blah, blah. Like you're getting sold to on a consistent basis, which brings your guard up and makes you less likely to actually go in for it because you feel like everyone is trying to sell you and take money from your pocket. So there's no wonder that we get rejected all the time as realtors. But with that being said, you have to be diligent in what you're doing. Now, with our team, we go through a follow-up process. Inside of the first 30 days, you should be following up 21 times. So 30 days from when you first get the lead, should be following up 21 times. This can be text, email, or phone calls. Typically, we kind of have it in a system. We'll put 2 drip campaigns into our CRM for a new lead. One of them is just a task reminder to make calls, and the other one is an email and text thread. Now, it can be for a variety of different things. We have about 40 drip campaigns to choose from in there. It could be from a buyer who no-showed, could be from a new online lead who hasn't responded, you know, an old lead from Zillow, could be a seller who hasn't signed with you yet, and you know, so on and so forth. Every single scenario that we try and think about where leads come from, we have a different drip campaign built in for those people to speak to that certain situation. So it might be someone who came to an open house, they're going to be in a completely different drip rather than, you know, someone who called you directly. We're going to put them on different things because, you know, they're at different stages in a relationship. And it might be a buyer who came into an open house who signed up on the sign-up sheet. It might be a buyer who came into the open house who was interested in you showing them a property. It might be a seller or a neighbor who came in the open house, or a nosy neighbor, or whatever that looks like. So every single scenario we can think of, we build out a custom drip campaign for it, and obviously all our team get all of that. But as well as that, they're reminded to call them too. So follow-up is not hard, it's just diligent work that you have to do. And that's the part, no one wants to every single morning go into the CRM and check what their tasks are. And if you look in the majority of people's CRMs, if you go into the tasks, you would see probably hundreds of reminders like, hey, you're supposed to call this person, you're supposed to say this, you're supposed to do that. And people just don't do it because we have this kind of fear of rejection, or we have this lack of hope that it's going to turn into a deal. So we're just like, oh, whatever, man, we'll just do whatever. We'll just leave it and try and get another lead. So you'll spend money on leads, but you won't spend time on follow-up. It just doesn't make sense. The two have to balance out. And that's the thing about follow-up. It's the next step in the process. So you've spent money to get leads, which is awesome. You've got leads coming in. Your next job is to convert them into an appointment. You need that appointment to make them a client. Okay, that could be a Zoom call, that could be a coffee shop meeting, that could be a showing, whatever it is. Our follow-up has one purpose: to get an appointment. Because if we have an appointment with them, then we can convert them into clients. And that's the thing, you have to make sure you know which stage is which. You pay money or you do whatever to get your leads. The next time it comes in, follow-up is where we get an appointment. And then at the appointment, we turn them into clients. And we're going to dive into this in the next video as well. But follow up. I can't stress enough how important this is. If you don't have a CRM, I would really recommend you get one and organize all of your clients in there. Obviously, we use KV Core with our team. If you have KV Core, we have all the drip campaigns you would need for any scenario, any lead that comes in. So reach out to me about how you can possibly access that. But in any case, you just have to do the work in following up. Why do you do all the work and try and get Facebook leads and spend money on marketing and doing all this, and then you don't do the work at the back end? It's completely backwards. It doesn't make sense at all. But the majority of realtors are doing this exact thing. It blows my mind. There's so much money inside of all your leads that you're just not following up on. And here's the thing, if you follow up with them and they're just telling you to get bent, that's awesome, because that means you can just take them out and be like, cool, I don't have to worry about that, on to the next. So if they give you a big F off, that's a good thing. You have to make sure that you get that into your head. It's like, cool, I'm just trying to decipher which ones are going to be a deal and which ones are not. You don't have to be friends with all the people inside of your CRM, all the leads you get. What you have to focus on is which ones are going to give you business, which ones are going to make you money. And that is the whole point of follow-up. Get that appointment with the leads that come in, and then we'll move on from there. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you and help you with your follow-up protocols. Till the next one, talk to you soon.